everybody, and welcome back to Two-Handed Board Gaming. My name is David, and today I got something special. I got something real special. Something crazy special. All right, I was channeling some 80s wrestling there. What I've got today is something I picked up at Gencon. I was very fortunate, I guess among... I think they had 3,000 copies there for those that were, I guess, quick enough on the trigger to, you know, get it reserved in the morning around 7 each day. And if you were lucky enough, you got a spot of 750, I think they gave out each day. Not gave out, you obviously still had to purchase it, but one of the fortunate ones to get it so that you could have it reserved and then buy it within a certain period of time there at the convention. So, yes, you're looking at Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons Players Handbook. This is the revised, updated 2024, I guess, 5th edition rule set. However, with, from what I can tell, many updates, additions, and sort of cleaning up from what I think has been described. So, yeah, what do you think? I think we are exactly 6 weeks away from this getting actually delivered to the vast majority of folks, right? So I think September 17th, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is yeah, so it's kind of cool to have this before us. Yes, this is a board gaming channel, but again, we're sort of a gaming channel in general. We have covered other RPGs here so far with our very limited videos that we've done. Dragonbane being the one, and did we do another? I've shot another unboxing of another RPG, but we'll debut that later on. I did just get back from Gen Con. What an incredible event it is. This is my 6th time going. Had a lot of fun. It is tiring though. It is overwhelming, tiring, and it will murder your wallet if you're not careful. Wallet, purse, whatever you carry your greenbacks in. So, but that is not what you're here for. You would like, I'm sure, hopefully, to see what's in this player's handbook here. I'm going to do a flip through. I'm not going to go into great detail in every aspect of it, but I will give a cursory view of everything in here. And at the end, you got to stay to the end. I've got a special something to entice you further to stay. A little possible giveaway. But you'll have to stay to the end to find out, or at least skip forward to the end. So, without further ado, let's get stuck into this thing. All right, so Player's Handbook, Dungeons and Dragons. And it is a nice sized book. Hopefully you can see that. I need to do what I need to do is a comparison between the Player's Handbook that I currently have and this to see if the page count has changed. And I'm sure someone can just look that up rather quickly. As you see here on the back, create heroic characters. The revised and expanded Player's Handbook is the essential reference for only 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons player. It contains rules for character creation and advancement, exploration, combat, equipment, spells, and much more. Create fantastic D&D heroes from the wide selection of character origins, classes, and subclasses provided. Explore ancient ruins and deadly dungeons. Battle monsters while searching for legendary treasures. Gain experience and power as you trek across the uncharted lands with your companions. And what I really like is this sort of emblazoned, 50th anniversary gold emblem that sticks out from the rule book itself. It's I don't know, is the word embossed? I don't know if that's the right term. But that is not what you're here for. Anyway, so a companion to the 5th edition Dungeons and Masters Guide and Monster Manual are also coming out. One in 2024, which is Dungeons and Masters Guide and the Monsters Manual, will be out in 2025. Those are the updated versions. And just so you know, this is, as they say, backwards compatible with your regular 5th edition. So, is there anything else you need to know about this particular book? Well, again, it's got revisions, so it's designed to be compatible with everything you're already using in 5th edition. It's incorporating feedback, playtesting, etc. into this to sort of tighten the rule set up from what I've been told. And you should be able to get your own copy of this. Oh, I did find the page count. It is 384 pages. That is awesome. And yeah, so you'll be able to get this, I believe September 17th. So I think as of today, we're 6 weeks away from that day. But without further ado, let's get in. Okay, let's look at this and I have to be frank, I do like the cover. I've seen some folks that say they don't like it or they're not too keen on it. I rather like it. It has some characters you may recognize from the very early 80s onset of Dungeons and Dragons and some of those toys and figures that were around then. This is the inner sanctum here, a darkened vision of what appears to be there's some things going on in this, a dragon and a city being attacked, but it looks cool. All right, look at this. I like this sort of, the book is open and, the adventure awaits as stories are being, portaled out towards you. Yeah, okay. All right, so I don't know if we can get a little bit closer without blowing out our shot here. That's a little bit better. And again, I'm not trying to give you I'm not trying to I'm just going to sort of go through a little bit of each page, maybe not each page, but we're going to give again a cursory glance over of this and talk about things that, again, I have not done any flipping through this. This is, all of us are seeing this for the first time, possibly, depending on where you've gone to get your content. So we're talking, again, credits, talking about our designers, lead designer Jeremy Crawford, designers, rules, developers, editors, playtesting, art direction, interior illustrations, concept, a lot of art. I flipped through, but I didn't stay on it. But this player's handbook has a lot of art, and I've liked a good portion of it, just kind of flipping through. And then, it talks about the cover here. So, guided by a gold dragon, the elf queen Yolanda, and the heroes of Valor's Call test their bravery against the evil in the daring scene illustrated by Tyler Jacobson. And Tyler, I tell you what, you've done a fantastic job. I really do like the cover. And there's an alternate cover, I think, that you can get only in game stores. And this little sort of subtext here is: nothing's better than sharing stories with friends. Heroes pause to share tea and tales with a gold dragon in the serene illustration from Wiley Beckert. All right. And here are our contents. Okay, so we'll just sort of briefly go over this. So, welcome to the adventure. So, playing the game. What does that all mean? This is, again, it's sort of you are selling this book to current players and then future players. So future players need to know how to play a role-playing game, and you'll see a lot of that in there as well, and creating your character classes. all the way through. Character origins, and from what I've heard, that will sort of have a bigger impact on character creation. Feats, equipment, spells, the multiverse, creature stat blocks, rules glossary, and then an index in the back. And here we go. Welcome to the adventure. All right, and bear with me. I think I'm gonna read this here. If you can stomach the my voice and my ramblings. Here we go. All right. This story began 50 years ago, and you're part of and we've already screwed up. No, and you're the part of it. In the 1970s, Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson created a game of make-believe that fused rules with storytelling. There's never been anything like it. A game in which each player made their own fantasy character and teamed up with their friends to go on quests. One person served as the narrator and referee, the game master, and did everything they could to challenge and delight the other players. That game was, of course, the first version of Dungeons and Dragons, and you're now reading its latest version. Over the decades, millions of people have played D&D and scores of writers, game designers, artists, and have made their mark on it through various editions. When our team released the current edition in 2014, we were humbled by how many of you loved it. This revised version of it is a salute to all of you and those of you who've been playing D&D for years. Those of you who've contributed to the game through your feedback, and those of you who are about to experience the joy of playing it for the first time. As a teenager, I met both Gary and Dave. I even spent an entire day with Gary, and we did what all D&D fans do, share stories about our adventures in the D&D multiverse. I invite you to embark on such adventures anew. Share as much laughter as you can with your friends. Use only the rules that serve your fun, and always follow your group's bliss. So many have been enjoying the magic of D&D for half a century. Let's keep it blazing for another 50 years. And that's from Jeremy Crawford. I think that's good. I like that sort of opening there, and I'm glad they actually give Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson the shout out there, because they, as many will probably know, or maybe don't know, are really why we have Dungeons and Dragons. So, excellent. All right, so okay, again, just the introduction. What you need? You need a dungeon master. Players. Obviously, right? Although you could play solo, right? That is something. There are many books out there that allow us to enjoy solo RPGs these days. So, but if you're not, you will need this, and most groups will probably have multiple copies of the Player's Handbook. All right, using this book, a section about all the various chapters. And then we go over here to the what's new in the 2024 version? I think I'd like to look at that a little bit. So, all right, so maybe we can get a little bit focused on that. No, we can't. We're going to struggle with our, here we go. Let's go back just a little bit. Okay. So what's new in the 2024 version? Well, let's see. If you've read the 2014 version, much of this book will feel familiar, since the fundamental rules of the game are the same, but the book contains many new redesigned elements, and the versions of things in the book replace versions from older books. Here are the highlights. Streamlined rules. The game's rules have been streamlined and are now supported by rules glossary. Awesome. Easier character creation. Using Chapter 2, making a character is easier than ever before. Enhanced classes. In Chapter 3, every class and subclass has been enhanced with new options. I'm sure most folks that have been playing 5th edition will love that. Reimagined origins. Explored in Chapter 4, a character's origin is now defined by background and species, each of which has been redesigned. Expanded feats. In Chapter 5, feats have been redesigned with many feats added. Upgraded weapons, tools, and crafting. Mastery properties transform how weapon wielders use their weapons, and every character can enjoy new tool and crafting rules in Chapter 6. That's new. Dazzling spells. Chapter 7 bursts with new spells and older ones that have been enhanced. If you can't find a rule, check the index. If the rule's name has changed from what's been printed on the 2014 Player's Handbook, the index points you to the new name. For example, if you look up inspiration in the index, it points you to the rules for heroic inspiration in the rules glossary. There we go. Those are the things that have changed. Coffee cup back. All right. And let's keep going. And wow, look at that. All right, so chapter 1, playing the game. All right. So as I sort of go through here, I already see sort of an example from, you know, how the interactions were going between a game master and players, giving descriptions of what a player is, right? What, you know, player or DM, right? Being the dungeon master. And again, this is tailored for new gamers, right? People that have never played an RPG before, right? So, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of us that have played for such a long time, this is not like a not necessary chapter, but for people that are just new to the hobby and to this, you know, this sphere of imagination and gaming and improv and all those things, this is something that they need to sort of know, right? So, again, talking about the rhythm of play. So the dungeon master describes the scene. The player describes what their characters do. The DM narrates and the results of the adventure and the actions that are taken by the players. So, exceptions supersede general rules. Round down. So talking about how, you know, some of the dice mechanics, ongoing games, adventures, campaigns, you know, what dice you'll need, right? Because, you know, again, these sort of polyhedral thingamabobs, people that, you know, might not be familiar with, like, this is something they need to have, right? You have to have dice, or at least a dice, you know, a dice roller, an app, right? Which we're so blessed to have these days, right? And if we're playing digitally. So what are your dice for, right? So interpreting the rules. So these are all things that even, you know, like seasoned gamers should know, right? Maybe you're coming from another system. You know, what dice do you have? Anyway, I digress. All right. Talking about our 6 abilities, right? Our 6, you know, attributes. They call them abilities here. So strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. We're all accustomed to this across the vast... vast D20 game sort of interpretations, right? Those are your 6 most common. I'm more familiar with the term attribute or attribute, however you pronounce it. But here it says abilities, right? So ability scores. I think that might be, you know, might have been that for a while, but and then you know going from 1 to 30, what that represents as far as sort of power level. I don't see anything that's changed there. D20 tests. Yeah, so our ability scores and how that represents our characters. Talks about ability checks, ability modifiers, proficiency bonuses, difficulty class. These are all things that we'll be familiar with. A lot of the folks that are playing this currently. Gives an example of, you know, what a difficulty class. What would you need to roll on a D20, right? So like, and this is, you know, gives you different examples of how, from easy to nearly impossible. And then we start to talk about our saving throws. So far, so good. Not seeing anything terribly different. Of course, this is, again, cursory view, not really going deep into it. Again, we'll go over just sort of page by page here. So advantage, disadvantage. So that's when you have advantage, you're rolling an extra D20 because you will take the best of those results. And then when you have disadvantage, you're rolling, again, another 2d20, and you're going to have to take the worst of those. So that's been standard since 5th edition. So nothing different there. Heroic inspiration. Sometimes the DM or a rule gives you heroic inspiration. If you have heroic inspiration, you can expand it to reroll any die immediately after rolling it, and you must use the new roll. Only one at a time. You can never have more than one instance of heroic inspiration. Something gives you heroic inspiration, you already have it, you can give it to a player character in your group who lacks it. And then gaining. Your DM can give your heroic inspiration for a variety of reasons. Typically, DMs reward it when you do something particular heroic in character or entertaining. It's a reward for making the game more fun. For you and everyone else, other rules might allow your character to gain heroic inspiration independent of the DM's decision, for example. Human characters start each day with heroic inspiration. Huh. Interesting. And I'm not sure if that's... Maybe that's new. Not sure. Proficiency. We're talking about proficiency bonus, skill proficiencies. The bonus doesn't stack. Okay, so... Okay, all right. And then we're going to talk about all the skills. I don't see anything that's changed there. Skills with different abilities, saving throw proficiencies, equipment proficiencies, actions. All right. When you do something other than moving or communicating, you typically take an action. The actions table lists the game's main actions, which are defined in more detail in the rules glossary. All right. And just a quick summary. So you have an attack, a dash, in a disengage, a dodge, a help, a hide, influence, a magic, a ready, a search, and a study, and a utilize. All right, one thing at a time. What would your character do? Bonus actions, reactions. All right, I like this art piece here. Social interaction, role-playing ability checks. Sorry, just, you know, social interaction example. In this scene, the players engage in a social interaction encounter, and you and your group determine how similar scenes play out in the adventure. And it gives an example of how this goes. I like this. This, you know, again, could give new players an idea of how that social interaction is going and how to sort of incorporate an ability or die roll in here, and then sort of how that would impact further interactions. So, active role playing, descriptive role playing. Ability checks. Okay. Yep, and it's continued to the next page. So I like that. That's, again, this is good for, honestly, it might be good for current role players that, you know, maybe just want more insights. You know, sometimes we don't, you know, there is no right or wrong way, right? But it's sometimes we like to, there's things that you might want to emulate if it speaks to you, you know. That's the beauty of RPGs. You can sort of make it and tailor it to your own, what speaks to you. What is it that you want to do in a game? Some folks like more, you know, dice rolling and sort of action and combat and, you know, etc. Where others like that, but they also like to sort of embody their character, channel a voice, channel that character so that it plays out in a more play like improv sort of interactions where they really, you know, they'll, you know, dress up as their character. They'll talk as their character might, and they have fun enjoying and engaging with other characters, you know, that are sort of interpret their characters and have that sort of same interaction. So playing an RPG is very, it's a group dynamic, right? So and it's a give and take. You know, you have to sort of be able to you know, do your best, you know, to bring out what and take away what you want from it, right? So anyway, I digress. All right, let's go. Exploration, adventuring equipment, vision and light, obscured areas, hiding, interacting with objects. So again, we're just sort of getting into like what characters can be doing, what sort of things they're going to be able to come across, hazards, finding hidden objects, carrying objects, breaking objects, hazards, travel, exploration, all the things that you need to sort of have a base understanding while you're playing the game. I like this little section here. This is cool. This is sort of like, here's your GM, like, you know, describing the interactions to the table, and then this little scene appears, like what they're seeing and they're reacting to. Like it's cool. I like this little sort of this depiction here. All right. There we go. And then casting spells, know your spells, vision and light, saving throws, combat, order combat. So now we start to, it goes step by step. So establish positions, roll initiative, take turns. What is initiative? Are you surprised? Initiative order, ties, your turn. Talking about things like cover, right? Ranged attacks, melee attacks, mounted combat, mounted and dismounted, controlling and mount, falling off, underwater combat. This is a cool picture. Damage and healing, hit points, damage rolls, critical rolls. Again, these are things that, a lot of us will already be familiar with. Resting adventurers can spend every hour adventuring, but they need rest. Any creature can take an hour-long short rest in the midst of a day, and an 8-hour-long rest at the end of it. Regaining hit points is one of the main benefits of the rest. Rules Glossary provides rules for short and long rest. Yep, so that doesn't look like it's changed much. Then we talk about dropping to 0 hit points. Your character dies. Sorry, I'm just kind of skipping around here, but dies. You might find a magical way to revive them, or raise them with a dead spell, or talk with the DM about making a new character to join the group. The rules glossary has more information about being dead, falling unconscious, death saving throws. Whenever you start your turn with 0 hit points, you make a death save penalty, knocking out a creature. Okay. Stabilizing character, temporary hit points, conditions, very many different conditions. Oh my gosh, I've seen this previously, but let me tell you, this might be one of my favorite pieces here in the book. And this is from the 1980s Dungeons and, well, at least the characters depicted here are from the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, and they've sort of channeled their characters here, which you can see that. That's just so cool. I really love this piece. It's only missing it's missing a few characters, but they have 4 of them represented here, which I really like. So no, that's awesome. Okay, going forward. Let's see, creating a character. All right, and here we go. It's like, this is finally to the part where, like, guess what? It talks about session zeros. This is something, that I think didn't used to have sort of a term, but yeah, this is like the time when people sit back and actually make their characters. And it's great to like do this with your game master, sort of set the expectations of what kind of game you want to play. Find out what everyone is, sort of wants to play, so that, for me, yeah, I prefer parties that are well balanced, or at least, have a better balance than, if we had a group that were all magic users, but wizards, like, you could have that. That's not saying that you couldn't, right? But just my preference. So creating your character, you choosing a class, you determine your origin, you determine your ability scores, choose an alignment, and then you fill in the details, right? So, and I don't think there's any new classes. I think we stick with the same classes we've had since 2014. We've got barbarians, bards, clerics, druids, fighters, monks, paladins, rangers, rogues, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards, right? It does talk about their primary ability scores, so like which ones should you have the higher or focused on. It actually talks about complexity. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that was in the other one, but how hard is it to play a barbarian? Well, it's average, right? How hard is it to play a bard? High. So it seems like bards, monks, sorcerers, and warlocks, they have as a high complexity. That's interesting. Well, what is yeah, there you go. Wizards average, rangers average, paladins average. I hope that I haven't been following along closely, but hopefully rangers have had some things changed or brought to the, because they were sort of not great characters in OG 5th edition, prior to 5th, and this is okay. So sorry. Anyway, right here we have looks like we have our new character sheet, and 2 sides. Actually, it looks it looks okay. I'm not, very. I don't want to say it. It just looks All right, this is my personal opinion. It looks uninspiring. However, it looks clean, right? It's very clean. It looks like it's ready to be sort of easily referenced. So that's a plus. I personally would like something more sort of like tailored for the setting we're in, meaning like, you know, a little more distinctive, you know, a little more flavor. But this looks like it gets the job done. All right. All right, talk about balanced party. The classic D&D party, a cleric, fighter, rogue, and wizard. Those 4 classes have the longest history in the game, but more importantly, they bring a balanced mix of capabilities to adventures. You're welcome to use the party setup or modify it using these guidelines. So cleric, you can replace with a bard or druid. Fighter, replace with barbarian, monk, paladin, or ranger. Rogue, replace with a bard or ranger. And wizard, replace with a bard, sorcerer, or warlock. There you go. You don't have to have that standard party, but you know, it's good that we have at least I like that they give you suggestions there, right? So, write your level. So write your character starting level in the, yeah. So most characters will start at first level. But that doesn't mean you can't start at higher levels. Obviously, it's your game. You can, in some adventures, you need to start at a higher level. So, all right, so then you're going to determine your origin. And so that determine your origin, you determine your background, your species, and it says, is it 2 languages? Okay, yep. It's all right. I got yep. Determine, yep, okay. Choose background. Background you choose influences step 3 when you determine your character's ability scores. If you're having trouble, okay, so that's, okay, good. All right. Ability scores and backgrounds. Okay, so depending on what your background is, will also give you maybe ability score increases, which I assume that's what that's saying. Record your feats, note your proficiencies. So choose a species. Imagine your past or present. So that's sort of like you now coming up with who your character is, what they are, where they've been, what they've done, you know. You kind of, you know, determining, you know, your backstory, right? And then we got our standard languages, rare languages. Okay. And then standard array by class. So this might be talking about, so abilities, okay, so assign ability scores. There's the ability score point costs. Okay, so if you're using the standard array, so you use the standard array if you want to assign base stats across the board. There's also they still have random generation. Roll 4 d6s and record the total of the highest 3 dice. Do this 5 more times, so you have 6 numbers. And then there's the point cost. You have 27 points to spend on your ability scores. The cost of each score is shown on the ability score points cost table. For example, a score of 14 costs 7 of your 27 points. Okay, so, and then it's talking about assigning your ability scores. And then here, backgrounds and species from older books. Backgrounds in older D&D books don't include ability score adjustments. If you're using a background from an older book, adjust your ability score by increasing one score by 2 and a different one by 1, or increase these scores by 1. None of these increases can increase the score above 20. Okay. Yeah, and then right here, if you see this is showing you like what, you know, a standard array for one of these base classes is, you know, recommended as having, right? So adjust ability scores, determine ability scores, right? What are the modifiers? Describe appearance and personality. Then, what's this interesting? What is this here? So strength. Okay, so a high strength. So you'd roll. What does this do? Ability scores are an essential part of the rules, but they can be more than that. Once you've assigned your ability scores, give some thought to what scores might say about your character's appearance and personality. A very strong character with low charisma might look and behave differently from a charismatic character with low strength. The following tables of descriptive words give suggestions on how you might describe your character based on having a low or high score. Note your character's appearance and personality on your character sheet. Awesome. Okay. I kind of like that. Unaligned characters, choose alignment. Okay. I'm seeing the okay, so the 9 alignments: lawful good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil. All right, so nothing's changed there. Personality traits by alignment. Ooh, interesting. Cool. Fill in the details. Level points by class. Okay. All right, and here's your advancement table, right? Level advancement. Oh, that's a cool. I like this. That's a cool illustration right here. Looks like some ghost warriors gaining a level. So talking about how, you know, what you're going to do with gaining a level. Class features, proficiency bonuses, adjust ability modifiers. All right, tiers of play. And that's sort of breaking down like where you are as characters, right? So tier 1, levels 1 through 4, tier 2, levels 5 through 10. Tier 2 characters are fully fledged adventurers, right? Tier 3 characters have reached a level of power that makes them special among adventurers. At level 2, many spell characters learn reality-altering spells. Other characters gain features that allow them to make more attacks or do more to impress things with the... What? I can't read there. Do more impressive things with those attacks. These adventurers often confront threats to whole regions. All right. And then tier 4, level 17 through 20. This is sort of like characters that become pinnacle of their class features, becoming their heroic archetypes. The fate of the world. Yeah. So you're basically comic book-esque heroes at that point. So starting at higher levels, creating your characters, starting equipment at higher levels. Interesting. And we talk about multi-classing. Yes, because you can multi-class, right? You can still do that. Class features. Multi-class spellcasters. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's a whole different spell table. Okay. All right. And now we've got a section here for trinkets. When you make your character, you may roll once on the trinkets table to gain a tiny trinket, a simple item slightly touched by mystery. The DM might also use this table. It can help stock a room in the dungeon or fill a creature's pockets. That's cool. All right. I like that. I love tables. If I hadn't said that in previous videos, I do love tables. All right. And this is cool. This is cool too. And then now we finally talk about our character classes. So we go Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. And just giving brief descriptions of all of those. And then we actually start to hit our classes. Again, I don't want to, you're going to be able to see this, right, very soon. But I'm just going to sort of just start to flip through. So Barbarians, core Barbarian traits, hit die, they use D12 hit die, proficiencies, talking about Rage. Rage is one of their core sort of abilities, level 1. And then this is your advancement table. So from first level all the way to 20th, what you'll be increasing as you gain. So like your proficiency bonus, your how many rages per day, rage damage, weapon mastery, which is that new? I can't remember. I haven't played, to be honest with you, I'm hopefully I'm not insulting anyone, but I haven't played 5th edition in a little while. It's been a minute. So, weapon mastery, danger sense, reckless attack. Yeah, so just going through all the different class features, the class upgrades. These are what you will get based on your level. Yep. Oh wow, like this artwork. Actually, I like it. I like the Goliath here. That's a cool picture. Badass, right? So, and then we start to talk about subclasses, right? So barbarians have a few subclasses. So there's the Path of the Berserker, the Path of the Wild Heart. Path of the Wild Heart view themselves as kin to animals. These barbarians learn magic means communicate with animals, and their rage heightens their connection to animals as it fills them with supernatural might. I like that. That is cool. Path of the World Tree. Okay. Some of these might have been introduced in other products, and maybe I think brought into the Player's Handbook. Path of the Zealot. That doesn't seem like it. That seems new. All right, here's a bard, an inspiring performer of music, dance, and magic. Their core bard abilities, their primary ability is charisma. They have a D8 hit die. They want a dexterity and charisma to be higher. Becoming a bard. Bard class features. They do start with some spell casting, right? And then we obviously they're bard and the bard advancement table. So from 1st to 20th. And then we have, where's our subclasses? Oh, here, actually goes right into bard spells. Oh, that's cool. I think I like that. So we go directly into bard spells, right? Meaning like what spells are available, what levels, right? And then here we go, your subclasses. So College of Dance. The College of Glamour. Nice. That is a rockin' bard right there, man. Cool. That's a cool illustration. College of Lore. Okay. College of Valor. Okay. So 4 subclasses. So it looks like what? I guess 4 subclasses per class. Clerics, we've got Wisdom, primary attribute, D8 hit die, Wisdom charisma, saving throw bonuses. Becoming a cleric. Again, we'll start to go a little bit quicker now. Okay, so now we start. I like this. Again, I like being able to have the spells sort of closer to, and I'm not sure if that was in the 2014 Player's Handbook. I'd have to reference that, but having the spells closer to where the character class begins, so that you can at least start to see what they are. And obviously, the spells will be farther back in the book, right? But seeing what's available up front is good. And then our subclasses. So Life Domain. Okay, that's Light Domain, Trickery Domain, and War Domain. Right, War Domain. Nice. And these all these illustrations so far have been great. Druid. Let's get to our Druid. Don't skip that. Oof. Oh, that's a cool. A nature priest of primal power. I like that. So, primary ability, D8, wisdom, and then D8 for hit die. And then talking about all the same stuff. Druid class features. Right. 1st to 20th. Talking about Druidic. Oh, wild shape. Interesting. I've heard there were some changes to wild shape. I don't know what exactly, but you will find out shortly. So, again, and if you're just tuning in, this is not a deep dive. This is really just a page flip through and just looking and seeing what we see. And if there's anything that, for the most part, checking out all the art, which so far so good. Druid spell list, right up front here. Druid subclasses, okay. So this is the Circle of the Land, right? There is Circle of the Moon, Circle of the Sea, Circle of the Stars. I think that would be the last one. Yeah. Ooh, then we come to our fighter. All right. Fighter's looking great. Mesh of all arms and armor. Yeah. Yeah, I dig it. I like, this is a cool picture, man. This dwarf fighter is just looks like he's like getting ready to get in. Well, he's in the midst of battle. So, fighter class features. You probably hear my dogs barking. Fighter subclasses. So Battlemaster, that's from the, I remember seeing that's been there around for a while. Champion. We have Eldritch Knight. And we have a Psi Warrior. Ooh, Psionics, that's new. Okay. Interesting. That's new. That's new. Psi Warrior. Okay. You harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. It is represented by your psionic energy dice, which fuel your powers you have with this subclass. Psi Warrior energy dice table shows the dice size and number of the dice you have when you reach certain fighter levels. That's pretty awesome. I'm interested to see more about what the Psi Warriors are now. That is cool. All right. Ah, Monk. I've heard monks changed a lot. Don't know that for sure. But, so dexterity and wisdom, incredibly important for monks. D8 hit die. And let's sort of quick flip through. Monk subclasses. So at level 3, you get a subclass, right? I think that's for all character classes, if I'm not mistaken. And here are your monk subclasses. You have Warrior of Mercy. You have the Warrior of Shadow. You have the Warrior of the Elements. That's cool. And then you have the Warrior of the Open Hand. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to definitely have a bigger, deeper dive on this once I read through, but this is not the time for that. So Paladin, a devout warrior of the sacred oaths. Okay. Paladins get a D10 hit die, and strength and charisma are very important for them. So far, let's see. Okay. Paladin spells. I like it. Paladin subclasses. Here we go. Oath of Devotion. Oath of Glory. Oath of the Ancients. And Oath of Vengeance. Awesome. Punish evildoers at any cost. There you go. Ah, here we go. There's a ranger. A wandering warrior imbued with primal magic. So D10 hit die. Dexterity wisdom. Level 1 spellcasting. Alright. Favorite enemy. Yeah, sorry, that's been around for a while. Weapon mastery. And here we talk about their ranger spells, right? Oops, I'm gonna skip a page. I sure did. Alright, here are our subclasses, right? So Beastmaster. Alright, Beastmaster's been around, I believe. Fey Wanderer. Okay. Gloomstalker. Drawing the shadow magic to fight your foes. Gloomstalkers are home in the darkest places, wielding magic drawn from the Shadowfell to combat enemies that lurk in darkness. That's awesome. I like that. And then we have our hunter at the very back here. Okay. Rogues. Dexterous expert in stealth and subterfuge. Dexterity is obviously important. Dexterity is very important for rogues, right? Okay. Rogue subclasses. Arcane Trickster. We have our assassin, which you better have your assassin. We have a soul knife. Ooh, strikes foe with psionic blade. Interesting. I'm not familiar with that, but I'm intrigued. And then we have our standard thief. All right. Awesome. There we go. Sorcerer. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get into some of the things that you might have been waiting to see, because I'm flipping slowly. So charisma, D6. Oh, D6 a die. Yeah, I believe I probably same thing for the rogue. I would assume as well. If I can get back to it. Yep. Nope. D8. Sorry. D8. Okay. So D6 for your sorcerer. Let's see. Then cantrips, sorcerer spells, sorcerer subclasses. So aberrant sorcery. Draconic sorcery. Wild magic. I like that. Okay. I like the wild magic. Yes. Give me wild magic all day long. Warlocks. D8 hit die, charisma. Coming a warlock. And let's get to our subclasses. All right. Where are we? Warlock subclasses. Archfey Patron. Okay. Celestial Patron. Fiend Patron. Do one more. Great Old One Patron. Ah, yes. Yes, that appeals to me. That definitely appeals to me. All right. Wizard. Here we go. Getting to the end. Right. D6. Intelligence based primary ability. Expand replacing a spell. Let's see. All right. Yep. Again, all the things that you sort of have come to expect, right? As far as like what you're getting per level. Wizard spells all in one place. I like this. Wizard subclasses. Abjurer. Diviner. Evoker. And Illusionist. Okay. Character origins. This is, I think, the thing that is a little bit newer, where it's talking about, you know, we're already in chapter 4, and sort of, I think this was, if I'm not mistaken, was earlier on in the 2014 Players Handbook. Origin components. So ability scores, feats, skill proficiencies, tool proficiencies, equipment, parts of a species. Okay, so acolyte. So let's just look here. So ability scores, it says intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Feat, magic initiate, see chapter 5. Skill proficiency, insight, religion. Tool proficiency, calligraphers, supplies, equipment. Choose A or B. Okay, so it's sort of like it seems like it just gets, it's easier, you know, by selecting sort of like this background, it's going to allow you to create your character a little bit quicker, sort of have a better idea of your beginnings, and then sort of, yeah, so entertainer, farmer, and let me see where it says ability scores. Is that, there's three of your character's ability scores increase 1 by 2, another 1 by 1, or increase all 3 by 1. Okay, so this is sort of based on which origin you choose, you'll be able to increase your ability scores for the associated ones that they have listed. So that's cool. That's interesting. It's new. That's definitely new. Farmer, guide, guard, hermit, merchant, sage, noble, sailor, scribe, wayfarer, soldier. Okay. Now we've come to our okay, so what, yeah, so let's go to our species, or races, depending on, you know, what time you started role playing, right? So they used to be called races, now they're species. So so the Asimar, which are like, I think your sort of angel-like characters, or angelic type characters. So that is one. All right, so 10 species are presented in this section in alphabetical order. So we have the Asimar, Dragonborn, Dwarf, Elf, Gnome, Goliath, Halfling, Human, Orc, and Tiefling. All right, so Dragonborn. All right. And I like that they have sort of like a little section that sort of gives a good descriptor, or, you know, a good a picture that sort of shows a various various, geez, what's the word I'm looking for? It shows the group of species, you know, hanging out, and, you know, just various iterations of them. So dwarves, and then it talks about, so different special traits. That's one thing I didn't really cover here, which was the traits, the different traits here. SMR, let's see, 3 special traits: celestial resistance, dark vision, healing hands, light bearer, celestial revelation, heavenly wings, inner radiance, necrotic shroud, dragonborn, breath weapon, damage resistance, dark vision, draconic. So yeah, it looks like you know, depending on what species you're select, you're still gonna get various you know, traits that are associated with your species, and so you'll be different. You know, you're not just sort of a cut and paste of every other species, right? So elf traits. I'm just gonna sort of gnomes, rock gnome, force gnome, Goliath traits. Interesting, cool. Halfling traits. I like this picture. That's cool. And I like the halflings too. Halfling traits: brave, halfling nimbleness, luck, naturally stealthy. Humans. Special traits: resourceful, skillful, versatile. All right, orcs. We have adrenaline rush, relentless endurance. Tieflings. Tiefling traits. I like these tieflings. Look awesome. I love tieflings. I like sort of the just the various takes of them, you know, takes on them. They just look, they're just so cool looking. So fiendish legacies: abyssal, chthonic, infernal. Okay. And then we get to the section of feats, and that could go on for a while. Let's see. Let you take a quick look there. I'm not going to list every single one. I'm not going to spend too much time here. You'll get to look at all of these soon yourself, because there are pages upon pages upon pages upon pages of these. Cool. All right. So now we're at equipment, and that I really like this. This is a cool picture here. Equipment, various weapons, what they do. Yes, because you need to know what your weapons do, what kind of damage you're rolling. Improvised weapons, mastering proficiencies. Oh wow, that's cool. I do like the sort of the new illustration for the various weapons that they have here. That's neat. I like that. Great sword, glaive, maul, long sword. Yeah, this is cool. Ah, various different armor. Okay. And then different tools, items, equipment, adventuring gear. More gear. It goes on for a bit. That's good though. And then we go to like just sort of various things like, you know, vehicles, services, like how much things cost when you go to a inn or travel, or, you know, what things will cost. Crafting. Crafting equipment. Oh, that's cool. I like this. This is very Mages of Greyhawk. Very neat. Spells. Here we go. Spell section. Chapter 7. Spells are going to probably dominate the. I'm just sort of flipping through, you know, here. Yeah, I'm still flipping through. Still flipping through. You're gonna okay. So spells are gonna carry you through. We're still going. Okay. Oh. Yep, still going. Still going. Still going. This, I mean, you have to, you know, but this, I think, is about what we came to expect. Okay, so your spells are going to carry you from around page 235 to page 343. So, yes, there is a tremendous amount of spells, right? So, but that is the cool thing that you'll get to look at when you get your book. Because, oh, I will say, I like that's cool. Summon Undead. There are, again, the illustrations are great. You know, I know I'm starting to breeze through this a little more quicker now because I don't want to take all of your day. I want to take some of it. And then here, the section now talks about the multiverse, material realms, transitive planes, inner planes, outer planes, right? How things are connected in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. And then there actually is a little section for creature stat blocks, right? A lot of these are your common animals that you may be more accustomed to seeing in our own world. But no, they have stats for them in here. And then imps, there's things like that. Oh, Mastiff, love it. That's a cool picture. I really like Mule. Closet, pony, panther, pseudo dragon, rat, raven. Here you go, scorpions, sprites, weasels, zombies. Gotta have zombies. All right, and then guess what? At the very back here in Appendix C, we got a rules glossary. Isn't that awesome, man? That's great. I don't remember seeing that in the 2014 version. I could be wrong, though. I do like it, though. This glossary is great to have. How about that? And then we come to the end, which is our index. And it looks rather robust, as one should, with a book that is 384 pages long. And that is that. You've had a quick overview, a very quick brush through of the new Revised Players Handbook. And so, there we are. I know that I didn't go into great detail in many things here, and this, again, that's not what this video is for. This video is really just to sort of give you an idea of really just a quick brush through, flip through of the new Player's Handbook. This is the 2024 version, the updated, revised rule set for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. There you go. You've stuck with me to the end. All my ramblings, all my uninformed take on this book here. Tell me what you think. Are you excited for the new Revised Handbook? I personally, I think it has been well needed, and I think hopefully it'll be well received. I like a lot what I've seen so far. I can't really give you a good, analysis on, mechanics wise and all the nuances because I haven't played it, right? So I can only just give you, but I'm going to read this. I'm going to dig deeper into it. And if I can entice some players to get a game going with using the new revised version, which shouldn't be hard, but then I'll have more informed opinion at a later date, right? But okay, now we've reached the end here, and this is what I want to do, because we are now 6 weeks away from the release of this book to you, if you haven't already pre-ordered, or maybe you haven't even planned on getting it yet. Maybe this is the first time you're finding out that this is a thing. That could be a thing too. But what I want to do is, because there were so few of these that were released at Gencon, I want to do a giveaway. So, and this is what I want. So, in order to qualify for the giveaway, I need you to subscribe, and I need you to leave a comment in this video, talking about anything you really would like to talk about as far as, the new Players Handbook. What are your thoughts on it? It could be just simple as like, yeah, I want it, or whatever. It doesn't have to go into great detail. Whatever, just leave a comment. Tell me what you think. What are you looking forward to? And then I will take all those the folks that comment, the new subscribers, and the current subscribers, and I will draw at random. One of those folks will be receiving this copy of the Player's Handbook. I will be drawing that at the end of this week. So let me look at my calendar here, because I'm gonna plan on posting this today, which is Tuesday, August 6th. So you have until Sunday, 11. Is that a week? Is a week long enough? I'm gonna give it a week, right? Let's see how many folks I have after a week. So Sunday, 11 August, because what I'd like to do is by that time, I'd like to do a, whether it's a live stream or an announcement video, whichever we get to or figure out. But I want to have that person selected so that I can have it shipped out by Monday, 12 August, so that you can receive it as early as possible, so that you can get stuck into this new handbook. And that way, maybe you if you hadn't planned on getting it, maybe you get it. If you did plan on getting it, maybe you get it ahead of time, and you can really get gaming with your friends and your groups that you have. But yeah, that's what I want to do, because I'm not, I'm not 100% vested yet. I want someone that really wants to have this book. Now, I'm going to take what time I can take with it this week, but I want to get this into your hands. So, that being said, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, that's it. That's where we are today. I really appreciate you stopping by today. Thank you for, thank you for taking the time to either watch the whole thing or skip to the end, whichever. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. But I do appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in Two-Handed Board Gaming. My name is David, and this has been a flip through of the new Dungeons and Dragons 2024, I guess 50th anniversary Players Handbook. I hope to see you again, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.